And yeah, okay. Computer, I didn't ask you to speak. Who told you could speak? You know, these computers like Rucher, and you know, they don't just want to step in and say what they want to say. Okay, how you know I had wanted to let them know that I was recording computer? Anyhow, get serious now. I see I got a laugh this morning, so mission accomplished. Okay, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Doug. I'm sure you've gotten plenty of laughs already this morning. Thank you
Uh,
for that.
all right. Well, we're happy to have the Board of Realtors here on the air with us. Go ahead and introduce
Yes,
yourself, and
my
we will take it on the road.
perfect. My name is Daniel Savro. I'm the 2022 president of the St. Croix Board of Realtors. Like to start this morning off first and foremost by giving a huge thank you to all of our veterans out there. Good morning to you, our listeners, our veterans out there. We really appreciate you. So thank you extra on this Veterans Day. And it is a great joy to be here on your show, Doug. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for giving our board of realtors a voice here in our community. It's really important.
All right. Well, the floor really is yours. You know, I'm just here as the person who operates the electromechanical stuff here in the place. Okay, so
Oh, that's
I know
great.
my place. But seriously though,
Well, let's
this is
let's
great.
start off. Yeah, let's
No, I
start
was just
off with
saying,
giving a brief background to who we are and what our purpose is.
fantastic.
Our Yeah, our local St. Croix Board of Realtors, we're 154 members strong. And, we're proud of that. We are a very close-knit community that, we, the Board of Realtors nationwide, we're over a century old. So this is an association that has been around for some time, looking for the betterment of real estate practices and the protection of our consumers. So here on St. Croix, again, we're 154 members. That's comprised of brokers, broker associates, and salespersons. We also have in our membership appraisers. So here on St. Croix, we have 5 appraisers as part of our organization, and we have several affiliates. We have seven affiliates in there, and they comprise of home inspectors, anything that's in the real estate trade organization. We have furniture providers and so forth. So in our association here, some of the most important aspects or benefits, if you would, are our, I guess, communication and our advocacy. So the conversations we're having now, the conversations we're having every day with different trades, and the main goal of that is to make sure our consumer not only is protected in their practices of buying that piece of land, but also has the latest technology to do it. I think one of my favorite aspects of the Board of Realtors here is what we provide our members as far as educational opportunities, as far as the technology packages that we get to use. I think it's really important. And so I guess I'll go through some of the benefits as what we have in the Board of Realtors. Again, the educational opportunities. We have the National Association provides a library of over 2,300 digital books to us. So just about any aspect of real estate, whether it's a commercial transaction or that land transaction, we have a wealth of knowledge that we get to tap into and, make sure we know our material, make sure we're guiding our buyers and sellers the right way and we're on top of things. So we have this massive database at our disposal any given day. Um, let's see. In addition to that, our spokesperson. So we have uh, people from our local St. Croix board, volunteers on our board here. We have volunteers on our Virgin Island terrace. So all 3 islands comprised volunteering, and we have volunteers on the national level. So we have a lot of little birdies in the ears of politicians and the mover and shakers for the regulations of what we're seeing on a daily basis. And that has been huge over the last few years. One of the things comes to my mind right off the top of the head is the PPP loans that were given, in the beginning of this pandemic, and our National Association members were there, talking to the government, saying how to incorporate independent contractors, which, us as realtors are independent contractors, and what that looks like for a loan in those times. And they were able to get that through, and it was successful. So having that strength of advocacy behind us is huge. And another thing that we've been working on for so long, and this is at the Virgin Islands territory level, is our local laws, updating our local real estate laws. It's been since, I believe, 1974 since we've had a revision to our Virgin Islands real estate laws. And over the last, I guess, couple years, it's probably more than that, but our board has been working with our local senators and representatives, have been trying to push these new updates that are just so much needed for our territory through. So, seeing these volunteers work hard every day and push for our consumers gives you pride, brings you joy. It's fun to be part of this organization. Some of the more, simpler things that you could think of that we do. We have different committees in our organization, and a couple of them that are my favorite are our outreach committee and our educational committee. But our outreach committee strives to connect to our community. A couple of years ago, before the pandemic, we were able to do the Fair Housing Expo at the University of the Virgin Islands. And what a blast I had there. We had, little booths set up, and we're able to really dive in and see what everyone's questions are, and what better way was it to, talk face to face and provide little, points of, guidance to whatever an individual's transaction may be. There's no one same real estate transaction. There's no one same goal. Every buyer, every seller needs a custom platform, if you would, to make their transaction successful. So the only way for us realtors to do that is to listen to you, and to have that expo and to sit there and talk to everyone really helped us guide, the future of our board, how to connect to our community, how to connect to our youth, and what we want to see out of that experience. So we really, in this, upcoming year, are going to put a lot of energy and force behind our little committees and try to grow them bigger. So one of the smaller things that we're doing, I don't know whether it's today or tomorrow, a cruise ship is coming in, but we have several realtor volunteers that will be there with the St. Croix Animal Welfare Center with puppies, introducing the cruise ship folks to the puppies available to adopt, and try to encourage more adoption from our welfare center. So, from larger things with our legislative matters all the way down to our animals, we've been trying to get involved with. And I want to kind of bounce one thing off of you and top of mind. One of my, bigger goals for this upcoming year, 2022, is how do our realtor brand, how do our realtor community connect to the youth of our island? How can we encourage them to become realtors? How can we encourage them to invest in real estate and become those landlords? And that's what I'd like to see.
Well, I have a couple of suggestions I could give along those lines. I'm glad to hear of, and not like I don't see the Board of Realtors out there doing anything, no, but I'm glad that you're here to talk about the things that you all are doing in terms of being community oriented. I mean, yes, real estate is your business, but this is where you live. And it's always good for you to articulate it the way you did, because people need to know. They'll hear Board of Realtors, but one of the great things that you can do is find youth organizations and partner and work through them. And I said it's also an opportunity. Growing up here, I'll tell you, they teach you, well, land don't spoil, buy a piece of land, buy a house, build a house, whatever the case may be. But it would be an excellent opportunity to from the Board of Realtors perspective, to kind of plant that seed in the minds of these young people. Because when you talk about a mortgage and you say a mortgage could be 30 years, you know, to some children, a lot of children, that's a very daunting number. 30 years? I don't know, he's been 30 years, you know, and so the way in which we bring it across, you know, the importance, the pride that can be taken, what it does for you and for down the road for your family and everything else. I think that, you know, partnering with some local youth organizations and just that presence coming in every now and then to talk with them, you know, as well as, you know, whatever you do for the organization itself to help with what they're doing with the people. I think that would be great because then, you know, it doesn't put the onus on you in terms of setting up the infrastructure for getting to them. You've got it already there. We've got these youth organizations that are out here. You got Calypso Inc., Project Promise. I mean, you go down the line, there are a lot of different ones in that sense. And it's a great opportunity in that sense for them to meet somebody new, hear something different, and then you plan how you circle back so that they'll hear it again. Because a lot of times, you know, for children, right, like behave, right? You tell them behave now, and 15 minutes later, you have to tell them behave again, right? So in the same context, you know, you have all the
And
good things, you have to repeat it because sometimes it takes a little while to stick. But if there was one thing I would want to say, it's that you can partner with local youth-oriented organizations. That would be an excellent way, from my perspective, to get the word out about land ownership and the board of realtors, and to plant that seed in people's mind. And that, hey, when they think about it, they think board of realtors, get the right information and everything else. Okay. One
yes,
one of the things, mhm, one of the things that you indicated that you wanted to talk about, and I think it's very timely that we're here to talk about it, because when you say board of realtors and you hear of a real estate salesperson, there's a relationship when it comes to real estate. I think it'd be great if you can explain that relationship. What distinguishes a realtor from someone who, you know, a real estate salesperson, that type of thing, and how do they work together, or otherwise?
yes, that is a great topic that a lot of people are curious about and question. Um, so, we have a real estate salesperson's license, and you can go to DLC and take that test. And, they have their application and so forth. It is, not daunting. It is accessible, and it is. And sidebar, I want to say that being a realtor, being in real estate, I think it is one of the more accessible businesses to start. It does not have an overhead like a large store, so forth. So back on track. But not just everybody is a realtor. Anyone can go get the real estate salesperson license, but it's up to the individual to decide whether they wanted to take the further steps in becoming part of the organization. And what that means is now you have to hold yourself to a specific code of ethic and more standards or practices. So you have to continue your education. So whether that is legal liability or the code of ethics, it is done regularly. And so as a realtor, you're holding yourself to a code of ethics, a standards that's much higher than just a real estate sales agent. And so this, our association began, I believe, in 1908. And so this is over a century old. And one of the main reasons was to protect the consumer, protect the buyer, protect the leasee, protect the landlord or the seller. It was to create that standard of practice and hold these agents responsible for their practices. So when you go and take that step to become a realtor, you're saying, yes, I will hold myself to these standards, and therefore, my practices are going to be best what's for the clients. So it separates just anyone from someone that really wants to have a honorable practice.
Okay, fantastic. You know, just kind of jumping back and forth here, we were talking a second ago about the outreach to the young people. Make sure whenever you partner with any of these nonprofits organizations that you let us know about where you're going to be and when, because we do a community calendar here. and we like to show what's going on in the community, especially when the business steps out there and wants to be uh, active in the community. We like people to know about it because the bottom line is there's so much good that's going on in the community, but you don't hear about the good. You know, all you have to have is one bad incident and you hear about it for the next 6 weeks. But the good,
Yeah.
oh, ho hum, you know, that just kind of happened, right? So just let us know in that context, you know, if you're partnering with a particular organization, going to be doing a presentation, that type of thing. Hey, we're happy to put that type of thing in our community calendar and spread the word.
Please. And I'd like to add in there how to reach out to us. Our brand, I want our realtor brand to look and be and feel accessible. And so one of the easiest ways for any member of our community to reach us is the stcroixrealtors.com, our website. It is forever growing. We're always trying to put some information out there about us, but not only is it a connection to us to communicate with us, but it also gives you a basic platform for how to become a realtor. So that's St. Croix Realtors with an S.com. So please reach out to us and whether it's something small, a comment or questions, we're always here.
Fantastic. Now, from a technology perspective, the website is a great tool to be able to communicate with people because 8 to 5, and I say 8 to 5, I know the fact of real estate is sometimes you're out there in the bush after hours with people, so it's not quite 8 to 5 in that
Yep.
sense. But the fact of the matter is sometimes people can't reach you like that. The website is a great tool to be able to communicate with people. Uh, Now, in real estate, one of the things that on the technology side, they have the MLS system. And without getting technical in the MLS system, you know, could you just explain to people what it is as a tool and how it's used in real estate, basically?
Yes. The multiple listing system is perhaps our most important tool. It provides us this uh, platform to load all of our transactions, all of our properties on. So you have a piece of land for sale. We're going to put every detail to that piece of land, the acreage, the zoning, the topography, a description of it. We're going to load up every fact that needs to be used in the selling of that piece of land into our MLS system. And that is going to create a database that our agents can reach at any time, that our agents' clients can reach at any time. But perhaps the most powerful is it gets syndicated to hundreds, probably more than that, but it gets syndicated to a ridiculous amount of websites. So no matter where you are in the world, no matter what platform you may be using, whether it's a realtor.com, whether it's a smaller brokerages page, you're able to assess and see every house that is currently active for sale, every house that is under agreement, every house that is sold within a period of the time that we've collected data. So this really gives a powerful tool. And the this may be a little bit higher now, but somewhere over 95% of all transactions, real estate transactions, begin on the computer. So this MLS system is essentially your first impression to your buyers, to your market. So it's a very powerful tool for realtors to get in there and properly photograph a property, properly write up a description that provides the right information to the consumer and intrigues them, and then provides the right data in there so that when our appraisers go to appraise the house, they can see that, okay, this is a 3 bedroom, 3 bath that's 1,600 square feet or so forth. So they can have that collection of information. So it's a pretty powerful tool. And I think that is, you could have a 2-hour segment on the MLS system and what it has done for our market and our
You're
consumer.
right, right, right. No,
So
well,
it's really
we don't have 2 hours, and even if we did, we would want to spread it out because
important.
I'm sure folks got all kind of things, and I'm just glad that they've been checking out what we're talking about here so far. Um, yeah, there's a lot to appreciate, and when you need to do real estate type of transactions, to know that you have a professional organization like the Board of Realtors that you can turn to for information and in some ways even education, because lots of times you just own a piece of property. Somebody passed it on to you, whatever the case may be, and you may have something that you want to focus on, not that piece of property, you want to focus on another one, and maybe the sale of the one would help with your projects that you have for the other one. Well, it's good to know that you got professionals you can turn to in
Exactly.
that
I
context.
I like to tell all of my clients that my main purpose is that I'm a real estate resource. All I'm here to do is answer your questions and make sure you're guided in the right direction. Now, it doesn't matter whether it takes 2 months for you to purchase that house or 12 years. I'm still going to be right here answering your questions. So all that I want to be is that resource for you.
All right, and folks, he's just newly elected, so he's gonna be there for a
I'm young.
while. uh, yes, congratulations.
I
Okay.
appreciate that. It's a great
And
honor. It's a great honor.
I say that sincerely. In every organization, leadership is what makes a difference. And in that context, I wish you the best, and I wish the Board of Realtors the best, and their service to the community on all levels. All right. So if you could just repeat the website again.
Yes, of course. It is stcroixrealtors.com.
All right, folks, there it is. You can get more information. You don't have to just worry that, hey, it's 7 o'clock at night and either they're out in the bush showing somebody some land or they're gone for the day. You have access to the Board of Realtors and their resources to their website. All right. Well, I hope that this is the first of many conversations. I've had a few questions that I kind of threw in there, but I'm sure that there are other people that have questions and concerns or inquiries that they might like to make in a forum such as this. So we look forward to, from time to time, having the Board of Realtors come through here and share with the community. Definitely. Right.
Well,
And
thank you, Doug. Appreciate this opportunity and just want to say thank you again to all your listeners.